favoritism. This is almost a rite of passage. This young in the league, go back and find a Hall of Fame quarterback and check their records for their first 2 years, especially if they started the bulk of the games. I bet you'll find double-digit interceptions on just about every one of them. They have to learn as they go along.
So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six. And now the kick is away. Now the Dolphins going to burn the first of their timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter. First and 10 here for Howell and the Commanders at their own 25-yard line. Throwing after the interception, Howell. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked up by Javon Holland. So going to take possession of the football. Well, that is interception number 4 for him, Charles. 4 here in the first half alone, and they're already trailing by 4 possessions.
Makes me wonder, partner, do they just not have any confidence at all in the backup, or do they just have that much confidence in him? Able to throw 4 picks already, they're certainly hoping that he can turn things around and quickly.
127 yards rushing for him now in the first half of this Super Bowl.
I'm not sure how much more evidence they need, partner, than to understand if they don't start to slow him down, it's going to be a long afternoon here at the stadium because he is just shredding them at this point. And let's face it, coming into the game, they knew he would be the focal point of their attack. This is going to take an 11-man unit on the defensive side to start making plays.
We have reached the 2-minute warning. In fact, just under 2 minutes to play in the opening half of this year's Super Bowl. They'll run on first down with Evans. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
Evans gets it again on 2nd down. And here he'll get it down to the 7. They give him 2 yards there as they're set up now with a 1st and goal.
Well, that was a unit that understood exactly where the first down marker was, handed it to their guy who could run it, created some space, and he got there.
On the handoff, it's Edmonds. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. That's going to go as a loss of 4, and it'll be 2nd down.
And that's what I'd like to see out of this defense, a little fire, a little toughness. It hasn't been the best first half for them, but they did do a nice job there forcing a loss on that play.
And he'll take this one inside the 10 down to the 8. Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see. Now, they'd really like to make the short field pay off. We'll see if they can, but this is 3rd and goal. He'll drop to throw. Out to the right here to Wilson. And he is out of bounds here. They do get 8 out of the pitch and catch. However, it's 4th down. And that extra yardage makes this upcoming field goal attempt much more manageable.
Agreed, because when you talk to defensive coordinators, they always tell us the 35-yard line on our side of the field, that's the line we guard the most aggressively, because once they get there, they believe they're in field goal range.
Sanders' kick is good, and that will do it for this first half. So it's halftime here on sports' grandest stage in the Super Bowl. As we are off to Orlando now to check in with Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach? welcome you back live now inside the booth alongside Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin, set and ready to rock for the third quarter. These two teams sat through a longer than usual 30-minute wait, but we're back in action here in this Super Bowl. And this will not be returned, so the second half begins with a touchback. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. And I would imagine this is where you have to take stock of the situation, CD, and say, gosh, we're halfway to the Lombardi Trophy. Let's not slow down now.
And I like the way you went there. Let's not slow down now, because the first half certainly went their way. And I would expect them to continue with that type of a game plan. But you're right. You do think back to Super Bowl 54. 49ers had a double-digit lead in the fourth quarter, couldn't hold on. So plenty can still happen.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. A give running right is Evans. And only able to get 2 here. Stopped at the 30.
Well, that's not a run that's going to make any of the highlight tapes, but they've been moving it well all game on the ground. This is another one that keeps them moving forward.
They'll need 5 on this play to move the sticks.
Ultra. Ready?
On 3rd down, they run with Edmonds. And I don't think he got there, no. He's short by maybe a foot, maybe. Call it 4th and inches. The Dolphins will send out the punter now. And the way this offense has moved the ball, he hasn't been needed till here in the 3rd. Taken in at the 22. 8 yards on the return following a punt of 41. And it will be Washington football now with a 1st and 10. Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. CD, they certainly know the hole that they face as they begin the second half. They have to do what precious few teams have done in NFL history. That's try to come back from a 4-possession deficit.
And partner, you know, as that team gathers, they're saying to each other, you never say never, right? Because if you're on an NFL roster, that's how you have to think. You can always come back and win a ball game. And let's face it, we saw a certain Super Bowl, a 25-point lead late, that wasn't enough to put someone away. But that being said, this task is near impossible. Let's face it. And bottom line is, it officially becomes impossible if this possession is an empty one.
They'll be in search of 8 yards here as they hope to convert the 1st down. Powell throwing on 3rd down here. Looking long for Thomas. And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. Brandon Jones picking it off. And the Dolphins are going to take possession of the football.
The Dolphins take over first and 10 at the 28-yard line.
Now a give to Edmonds. Down to about the 22 here. 141 yards for him on the ground now. He has been a tough man to bring down all night. So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3. They'll try the left side with Evans. And they'll bring him down at the 18-yard line. 4 yards the pickup, 1st down.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
They run with Edmonds. And he'll get about 3 as he's taken down at the 14-yard line.
Well, praise has to go to the guys on the offensive line because they've had a very nice, productive day running the football. How about that poor defensive line? They've been knocked around the entire game, and while they slowed them down on that run, can they continue to do so? Because they haven't had much success throughout this ball game.
Second down and another run with Edmonds. And he'll take this into the end zone for a Dolphins touchdown. Chase Edmonds with his third touchdown in the Super Bowl. And the Dolphins are starting to open things up here in the Super Bowl. Extra point up and good by Sanders. And the lead grows even larger here in the third quarter. Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders. And here comes a return from the middle of the end zone. And in hindsight, probably should have taken a knee as he only gets this out to the 16-yard line. Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. Well, we're still in the third quarter, so there's some time to kind of clean this up and make it look more respectable now. Or win, that's probably gone out the window, Charles. But I don't know. Do you look at this as a time to just improve and maybe start to look towards the future?
I think you have to find something to play for, something to grasp onto until the clock runs out. But, Brandon, we've been around this game a long time. This is an outlier. You don't get many blowouts like this no matter how the game looks on paper going in. This one has turned out to be everyone's worst nightmare realized.
To throw again on second down. Powell. His throw complete right side to Bates, the tight end. And he gets this up just shy of the 30 to the 29 before he's out of bounds. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down. Powell to the air on 1st and 10. He completes this one to Terry McLaurin. And he's taken down right at the 45-yard line. A good pickup there, 26 yards.
Well, maybe this offense has learned something from watching their counterparts work. I wonder if their coaching staff said, let's do what they've been doing the entire game because that's worked well. This offense, they have not looked particularly good all game long. But nice throw there for a good gain and a first down.
13 yards as they've got the connection working. His second catch in a row, first down.
But look what we have here, a sustained drive, and that was certainly AWOL in the first half. They really struggled to try and move the football. But right now, they certainly seem to have the formula working. Let's see if they can keep it up.
Now left side of the swing pass. And he'll be out of bounds as he gets this down about the 21 or 22. 10 more there and another first down. Now the margin on that scoreboard, obviously for them it looks daunting. But I don't know, Charles. They're probably not focused on that right now. Maybe just chaining together a positive drive with plays like we just saw, giving themselves something to build on.
Yeah, I think you're right about that. And what they have to...
And that is caught. Touchdown, Washington. Curtis Samuel, a 22-yard touchdown grab. And the Commanders are able to at least get one score back. Extra point by Sly is up and good. So they do get one score back, but still a long way to go here in the third quarter. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. The return man down to a knee, and this will come out to the 25-yard line. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. Still well in control of this ball game despite giving up that touchdown a moment ago.
Steal, check, steal.
It'll be Edmonds to begin the drive. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. We are through 3 quarters of play here from Allegiant Stadium. It's Super Bowl 58. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10.
Check you. Hey, check Megan.
They'll run with Edmonds again. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. Yeah, so they get that one, Charles, on the right tackle.
Yeah, oftentimes at that spot, you're trying to work against a defender, trying to set the edge in the running game, and you're trying to drive around and get your body twisted so that he can't get there. Sometimes your hands get too involved.
They run it here with Edmonds. A pickup of about 3 yards as he's taken down at the 31.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces, and I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
Here's Edmonds, and for one of the first times all night, he is going to go nowhere as they bury him behind the line. He'll wind up losing 3, and now it's 3rd down. Finally, defensively, they have a little clip to show positive for actually stopping him running the football.
It's been a really long night for them, hasn't it? So they got a little bit of a win there, but let's face it, the vision that he's had running the football has carried his feet to the open spaces and the big yardage all night long.
On the carry, it's Edmonds. And he'll go down to the ground at the 39, and obviously that's well short of the first. They'll get 11, but it'll still lead to a 4th down. The Dolphins will send out the punter now as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. 44 on his first punt, and this is a good kick as well. It's a return of 4 following a 42-yard punt. And the Commanders will take over with a 1st and 10. Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. Those Super Bowl hopes that they had really dwindling now here in the 4th quarter. That NFC crown that they got 2 weeks ago seems like a distant memory as they have been outplayed tonight.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Powell. He's got a man, complete. He'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. A gain there of 30 big ones.
At this stage, there's nothing left to do but to keep firing. And if you're a play caller, you may go off your sheet and use some things maybe you hadn't planned to in this game. Maybe that was one of them there that worked.
And the defense, they get to Howell. He'll go down here. It looks like a 12-yard loss there on the 1st down sack. And you could say that is just another cherry on top for this defense and that entire team. But really, this defense has sparked what's been an impressive effort here in this one.
And I notice you used the word spark because you're not seeing that on the other side of the ball, are you? The offense right now, the spark has left their game, and it's been because of what you described, that defensive pressure.
Now throwing on 1st down here. And returns it right back to Samuel. And he's going to be out down inside the 20 at the 15. Back-to-back receptions for him, and it's another 1st down.
Well, this game was decided a while ago, and that completion there is going to artificially inflate his passing numbers. So right now, the only one really applauding probably his agent as he thinks about angling for a new contract.
Inside the red zone here, they'll look to throw. to the goal line, but it's incomplete.
That incompletion is not a surprise with the way that this one has gone, and the frustration of body language is evident everywhere. This team, they've really been put through the ringer in this one.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Off play action. It's Howell. Buying time to his left. And this one incomplete. Threw it down at the feet of his receiver.
At this point in the game, they've got to continue to try anything they can. They're still working at it, even though this one feels like a lost cause.
And Howell will throw it. And it's going to be incomplete. He was able to catch it there on the right sideline, but out of bounds, says the line judge. And it's going to bring up 4th down. Well, it just seems like all game long there hasn't been a lot of sync quarterback to wide receiver on this side of the football.
They haven't been on the same page, quarterback and receivers. Heck, they haven't been on the same grease board when you draw plays up. They haven't been on the same surface tablet that you look at on the sidelines. Nothing's worked for them. They've got to find a way to start matching each other's movements.
4th down, Howell, desperation time. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. Ron Rivera, the gambling type, but he comes up empty here. And the Dolphins' defense is able to hold. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. And they are trying to play it cool down on the sidelines, but they know that they are very close now to wrapping this thing up and letting the celebration begin. A Super Bowl title within reach now as they try to polish this thing off. 3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. Evans running behind center. He is taken down at the 21 after a short gain of 2.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
The offense on 3rd down tonight, they've only converted once in 4 tries. This is 3rd and 4. They'll run with Edmonds, and he'll be stopped well short. Only 2 yards there, 4th and 3. And we are inside of 2 minutes left in this lopsided affair. The Dolphins will send out the punter now as he's on to kick it away. So a change of possession here on the punt. And that will come the offense as they take over.
At their own 36-yard line.
Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. Where we stand right now in the 4th quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You would have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us and get better for the next time out? This, they'll use as motivation for the rest of the time that they play to hopefully never be in this type of situation again.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And he finds McLaurin. And out across midfield down to the 45. The defense shaking their heads, not aggressive enough, and they allow them to convert a 3rd and 18.
Well, this game is certainly pretty well over. They can go ahead and mark it in the win column. But as a defense, they don't want to get so soft now that everybody just throws the ball all over the place against them, gets big yardage, and puts points on the board. They have pride, too, on that side of the ball.
And this is dropped. Oh, it's incomplete. He had a big gainer in his sights, but he could not reel it in. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. 2nd down, Howell now. And now here's another interception. Picked up by Xavier Howard. And the Dolphins are going to have it here as they'll start at their own 24-yard line. But with this advantage, this defense knew the passes were coming, and they stayed in position, Charles, and picked one off here in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, what a way to cap things off, huh? Because I think this is part of the game within the game. They see the scoreboard, they see what they can accomplish, and they went for it.
Daron Payne, the big D tackle there to make the stop.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
Coming up on 2nd and 7. Another carry now for Edmonds. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. It'll be a loss of a full 3 yards there, and it also brings up 3rd down. And the Lombardi Trophy has a home in South Florida. The Miami Dolphins are your Super Bowl champions. And to the Super Bowl champions, they etch their name forever in NFL immortality.
That's pretty phenomenal right there. It actually gave me chills just to hear you say that, because immortality forever and ever. When you look in the record books, you'll see this team, you'll see their picture, that your name will be a part of it. That's got to be an incredible feeling, because it's been a long journey to get there, and now they get a chance to enjoy it.